Welcome to Way Forward. Come on in and we'll take a look at DuckTales.
You know, with the character designs of Scrooge, we went through weeks, if not a month or so, of trying to nail down the design of what Scrooge is going to look like, starting from a very Carl Barks look to, you know, something that's a lot more like the show. In the animation process of the game, we blocked out a time every single day to do an animation review, because animation for this game was one of the most important aspects. That we spent at least an hour every single day going over every single animation daily.
I personally love Scrooge McDuck. He's my favorite animated character. Was introduced to him in the Carl Barks comics by my sister back in like the early 70s, so I've been following that for a long time. The TV show, Ducktales, that came about for me almost in the middle. As I was explaining to Austin when the project first came up, I'm like, well, I knew Scrooge as a Carl Barks character. Then when the TV show came about, I'm like, oh look, they're referencing Carl Barks comics.
I would say all the Scrooge accents in general had Carl Barks all written all over it. So, you know, I mean, whenever I did anything, it always had the sincerity of Carl Barks. I'm really happy that, you know, Matt Bozon really educated me on Carl Barks, who he was, and how special, how important it was to him, and how important it is to me that I know a lot about it. Before I even looked at the show, I tried grabbing as many comics as I can of Carl Barks and looking at his magica, which is really amazing. And hopefully, again, all that ingrained inside, and then watch the show and purchase them both, and hope to God that when it came out of his hands, or the direction, or the, you know, supervision, that it came out sincere.
We would act out, you know, all the animations that needed to happen next. We would go over all the animations that were done in every single step of the process, whether it was a rough, whether it was a tie down, or full colored, and then to make sure that everything was proportionate and matched up and like linked up well to the animation before it. Like it was a lot of fun. It was always my dream to work at Disney, like, as an animator, as a, you know, a lead animator on a project. So this was kind of like my opportunity to actually work on something that was really high caliber Disney quality art, and we really ran with that.
The biggest part I wanted to do here was that, you know, idols, they usually bop up and down, you know? And in feature, especially my teacher has always talked to me about making characters breathe. So I wanted to do a little bit of both. So I wanted Scrooge to breathe, you know? Because I mean, in the game, and he's just a pixel and just stands there, so I figured this would be awesome. We're not gonna make him pop up and down, but we're gonna make him go. Why not? You know, breathe some like life into these characters. So I was very animated when I did this stuff. So
I pushed really hard for Magica and Glomgold to have a bigger role. That was really important to me. It always bugged me in the NES game that they magically team up and you just play this end sequence that I couldn't understand why that was happening, and wanted to give that a little more meaning.
Even in the show, she was always so cool. She was like inspiring, but in a negative way, because she's an evil villain. But I just love her cackle. I love her movement. She's always so fluid. Even though she was like this essence of evil in a way, she was still very ladylike.
The original game was very much a solo adventure with NPCs peppered here and there, so giving all of the show's other characters more of a chance to shine was pretty nifty. It's really great to see the nephews in particular have more to do.
In the show and in the game too, I always like the nephews and Webby's designs because they're freaking adorable.
One of the most important things for, you know, getting the animations to look right and like how Scrooge actually acts is, you know, how he interacts with his cane. So I literally went out and bought a cane that has a hook, which are not easy to find, believe it or not, so that I could act out scenes over and over. So, you know, going over the animators, how does he hold his cane? How does he hold it when he's walking? How does he hold it when he's jumping? And acting things out for, you know, what does he do when he's standing around? We do what we call a long idle. When the character is standing there for 5 seconds and not doing anything, well, you have him animate, you have to do something fun. Well, what do we do? How does he play with his cane? And just by standing around and playing with the cane myself, we came up with ideas of, oh, we should make Scrooge do this, and this is fun. So literally walked around with the cane for a couple weeks and just sort of, you know, got into the feel of what it's like to be Scrooge.
once we said DuckTales, you can't not say woohoo afterwards, and that's what it's become for the rest of my life.